Scrooge looked about him for the ghost. It had vanished, and he found himself once more in his bed, in his dressing gown, and his nightcap on his head. He heard the clock strike, and then he remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley, and lifting up his eyes, beheld the third spirit, a solemn phantom, shrouded in black, draped and hooded, coming toward him, slowly and silently, like a mist along the ground.
I know you are the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You'll show me the shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Answer me, spirit, ghost of the future. I fear you more than any spectre I've seen. Yet I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, lead on! Spirit, why have you brought me here again? Here to Bob Cratchit's home, but it's not the same. Why is it so quiet? So very quiet here.
Mother, please.
My son, my little son, Tiny Tim. Oh, I loved him so.
Oh, Mother dear, you mustn't. It's almost time for Father to be home. Don't let him see you crying.
Yes, Mother.
He's late tonight.
He walks slower than he used to, and yet I've known him to walk very fast indeed, with Tiny Tim on his shoulder.
So have I, Mother.
But he was light to carry, and his father loved him, so that it was no trouble. No trouble. Oh, Bob.
Good evening, my dear.
You're late, Bob.
Yes, I'm sorry, my dear. I went to the churchyard today. I wish you could have gone with me. It would have done your heart good to see how sweet and green a place it is. But you'll see it often, I promised him. Yes, I promised Tiny Tim we'd walk there on a Sunday.
Father, dear.
My son. My little son, Tiny Tim. And I loved him so.
It's God's will, Bob. I'm trying to understand it, my dear.
Oh, that's cruel. Cruel. Spirit, can't you give me one ray of hope that I may change all that? That Tiny Tim may live? Where are you taking me now? Here? On Common Street, Spirit? What is there for me to learn here? Who is this man? And why is Mrs. Dilber here?
I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
It's likely to be a very cheap funeral, for upon my life, I don't know anyone to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if a lunch is provided.
Come to think of it, I'll bet I was his best friend.
What?
We used to nod to each other when we met in the street.
Well, he left me a little something after he departed us.
Are those his bed curtains?
Ah, bed curtains.
And his blanket. You don't mean to say you took his blanket and his curtains, rings and all, with him lying there?
Whose else's do you think? He isn't likely to take cold without them, I dare say.
I hope he didn't die of anything catching, eh?
Spirit, help me. Who is this man that died? Is there no one to mourn the poor creature? No one to follow him to the grave? Perhaps they'll give him a green grave at least. Like poor Tiny Tim. Perhaps. Spirit, where are we now? Merciful heaven. A churchyard. Overrun by grass and weeds, choked with too much burying. Desolate. Lonely, crumbling gravestones. Spirit, before I draw nearer to that gravestone, answer me one question. Are these shadows of things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be only? Will you not speak to me, Spirit? What is that grave to which you point? Now I see it. There's writing on that stone. The name on the gravestone is Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge! Oh, no, Spirit. No, hear me. I'm not the man I was. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Tell me that I can change these dreadful shadows you've shown me by an altered life. I'll honor Christmas in my heart. I'll try to keep it all the year. I'll live in the past, the present, and the future. And I'll not shut out these lessons that they teach. Tell me, Spirit, oh go on, tell me that I can sponge away the writing on that stone. Spirit, I beg you, Spirit, I beg you. Spirit, I promise on my knees, I promise, Why, what's this? Oh, I'm home, in my own bed, in my own room. And the sun shining, it's clear, it's bright, no fog. What a beautiful day. Oh, glorious. Hey, boy. Oh, boy.
Yes, sir?
What's today?
What's that, sir?
What day is it, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day! Then I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Heaven be praised.
How's that, sir?
Listen, my lad, you know where the poulterer is in the next street?
I should say I do.
Ha! An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Tell me, do you know if they sold the prize turkey that was hanging in the window?
The one as big as me?
What a delightful boy. It's just a pleasure to talk with ye. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now, sir.
That's wonderful. Go down, will you? And tell him to send it to Bob Cratchit and his family on Broad Street. And mind you, they're not to know who paid for it. Go along, hurry, my lad. Here, wait a minute. Here's £50 for your trouble.
Yes, sir. And Merry Christmas, sir.
Ha! And a Merry Christmas to you, boy. Oh, I don't know what to do. I was light as a feather. I was happy as an angel. I was merry as a schoolboy. Merry Christmas! A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. Woo-hoo! My dear ma'am, how do you do?
I beg your pardon?
Well, you, ma'am, aren't you the gentlewoman who came by my office in regard to that charity?
Why, yes, sir.
A Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, sir.
Allow me to ask your pardon, ma'am. And will you have the goodness to accept... I prefer to whisper this.
What? But Lord bless me! My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
If you please. Now, not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me that favor?
Well, my dear sir, I don't know what to say to such munificent...
No! Don't say anything, please. Come and see me. Will you come and see me?
I will indeed.
Thank you. I am much obliged to you. Thank you 50 times. Bless you. Merry Christmas.
Scrooge went to church and walked about the streets and watched the people hurrying to and fro and patted children on the head and questioned beggars and looked down into the kitchens of houses and up to the windows and found that everything could yield him pleasure. In the afternoon, he turned his steps toward his nephew's house.
Fred, darling, I believe someone's at the door.
Fred!
Why, bless my soul, who's that?
Ah, your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner.
Who is it, Fred?
It's my uncle.
As I live and breathe.
Will you let me in, Fred?
Yes, of course. Let him in.
Come in, uncle. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Scrooge was at home in 5 minutes. Nothing could be heartier. The next morning, Scrooge was early at his office. He went early for a reason. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. That was the thing he'd set his heart upon. At last Bob came. His hat was off before he opened the door, his comforter too, and he was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock.
6 and carry the 1, 24 and carry the 2, 31 and 8 and 9.
Cratchit!
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by coming in at this time of day?
Why, I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
Yes, I think you are.
Oh, it's only once a year, Mr. Scrooge.
I'll not stand this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, Bob Cratchit, I'm about to raise your salary.
Mr. Scrooge, are you quite yourself, sir?
No, thank heaven I'm not quite myself. Merry Christmas, my good fellow. A merrier Christmas than I've given you in many a year. I shall raise your salary, and we'll see what we can do for Tiny Tim and the rest of your family, huh? Bob, make up the fire, make it up, and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. To Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as the good old city knew. He had no further intercourse with the spirits, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us. Everyone.
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 God bless us. Everyone.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Chrysler. So glitchy.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
I think so. So do that whole thing.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah. I'm no Orson Welles. I'm not going to give you trouble.